I still remember the way her mother's face lit up when she said those words, and the way my heart stopped. Because 20 minutes earlier, I thought I was just going to dinner as her roommate. I moved to Boston in late September. New job, new apartment, new life. I didn't know anyone. The first month was lonelier than I expected. I'd spend evenings in my half-empty apartment, scrolling through my phone, trying to convince myself this was what starting over looked like. That's when I posted the ad for a roommate. I needed someone to split the rent. But honestly, I just needed another person in the space. Someone to make the silence feel less heavy. She messaged me on a Tuesday night. Her name was Elena, 26, graphic designer, originally from Providence. Her message was short and polite. We scheduled a time for her to see the place when she showed up that Saturday. I wasn't prepared for how easy she was to talk to. She had this quiet confidence, dark hair pulled back, minimal makeup, a slight smile that made you feel like she was letting you in on something. She walked through the apartment slowly, noticing details I hadn't even thought about. The way the afternoon lighted the kitchen counter, the corner by the window that would be perfect for a reading chair. It feels peaceful. Here, she said. I nodded. That's what I thought when I first saw it. She looked at me then. Really looked. I think this could work. She moved in 2 weeks later, and from the first night, something about her presence changed the apartment.it. Wasn't dramatic.it was small. Things, the smell of coffee in the morning, her playlist, humming softly from her room while she worked, the way she'd leave a post-it note on the fridge if she used the last of the milk. We fell into a rhythm. Quickly. We weren't close, not at first, but we were comfortable. We'd pass each other in the hallway, share the bathroom, schedule without conflict. Sometimes she'd cook dinner and make extra, leaving a plate for me in the fridge. I'd do the same. It felt easy, natural, like we'd been doing this for years. The first real conversation we had was on a Friday night in October. I came home late from work, exhausted and frustrated. I found her sitting on the couch, laptop open, but her eyes staring at nothing. Rough day, she asked. I laughed. Something like that. She closed her laptop. Want a drink? We shared a bottle of wine that night, sitting on opposite ends of the couch, talking about work, about the pressure of starting over, about how strange it was to be in your mid-20s and feel like you were supposed to have everything figured out. She told me about her last relationship, how it ended quietly, no big fight, just fading. That's the worst kind, I said. She nodded. Yeah, because you can't even be angry. You just feel empty. I understood that. We talked until 2 in the morning, and when we finally said goodnight, something had shifted. We weren't just roommates anymore. We were becoming something else. Friends. Maybe, or something I couldn't name yet. November came quietly. The air turned cold. The city felt smaller, softer. We started spending more time together. Not intentionally. It just happened. She'd be working at the kitchen table, and I'd sit across from her with my laptop. We'd watch movies on weekends, not planned. Just, hey, I'm putting something on if you want to join. And I always did. One night, she made pasta from scratch. I watched her work, flour dusting her hands. Her focus so complete it was almost meditative. My grandmother taught me this, she said. Not looking up in her kitchen in Providence. She'd make me roll the dough over and over until it was perfect. She sounds amazing. She was. I didn't push. We ate in comfortable silence. The kind that feels full instead of empty. I noticed the way she tucked her hair behind her ear when she was thinking. The way her smile started slow, like she was deciding whether to give it to you. I noticed a lot of things, and I told myself it didn't mean anything. She mentioned her family occasionally. Her parents still lived in Providence. Her younger brother was in college. Her mother called every Sunday like clockwork. I could hear Elena's voice shift when she talked to her. Softer, more careful. One Sunday evening, I heard her on the phone in her room. The door was cracked. I'm fine. Yes, I'm eating. No, I'm not. A pause. I don't know. I'm just focusing on work right now. Another pause. Longer. I know you worry, but I'm okay. I promise. When she came out, her expression was tired. Family dinner next week, she said, almost to herself. They want me to come home. That sounds nice. She gave me a look I couldn't read. Yeah, maybe. A few days later, she asked me a question that changed everything. We were in the kitchen, I was making coffee. She was leaning against the counter, arms crossed, looking at me with that careful expression she got when she was thinking something through. Can I ask you something? Of course, she hesitated. How do you feel about meeting parents? I laughed. In what context? In the context of coming to dinner with me. I stopped mid-pour. Your family dinner? Yeah. You want me to meet your parents? She shifted her weight. I know it's weird, but they've been asking about my life here, and I told them I have a roommate, and my MOM keeps saying I should bring you so they know I'm not living with some creep. I smiled. Fair concern. So, would you? It's just dinner. Providence isn't far. We'd go Saturday afternoon, have dinner, come back the same night. She said it so casually, like it was nothing, but something in her voice told me it wasn't. Sure, I said. I'll come. Relief flashed across her face. Thank you. Saturday came faster than I expected. She drove. I sat in the passenger seat, watching the highway blow past, trying to ignore the strange tightness in my chest. This wasn't a big deal. I was meeting her parents as her roommate. That's all. Nervous? She asked, a little. Should I be? She smiled, my moans intense. But she means well. My dad's quieter. He'll probably just ask you about work and then zone out. Sounds manageable. My brother's going to interrogate you, though. Fair warning. I laughed. Great. The silence that followed felt heavier than usual. I glanced at her. Her hands were tight on the steering wheel. You okay? Yeah, just family stuff. You know, I didn't. But I nodded anyway. Her parents' house was beautiful, old and charming, with a wraparound porch and trees that had probably been there for decades. Her mother opened the door before we even reached it. She was small, energetic, with the same dark hair as Elena. There you are, she said, pulling Elena into a hug. Then she turned to me. Her eyes were sharp, assessing. Elena stepped beside me. And then she said it. MOM, Dad. This is my boyfriend. The world tilted. I felt my breath catch. Her mother's face transformed. Pure joy. Your boyfriend? Elena, why didn't you tell me? Her father appeared behind her mother, extending a hand. Nice to meet you, son. I shook it. My mind was spinning. Boyfriend. Elena's hand found mine. Her fingers threaded through mine like it was the most natural thing in the world. She squeezed. A silent message, please. Just go with it. So I did. Dinner was surreal. Her mother asked 1,000 questions. How did we meet? How long have we been together? What did I do for work? Elena answered most of them, weaving a story that was close enough to the truth to sound believable. We met through the apartment. We'd been seeing each other for a couple of months. We were taking things slow. Her mother beamed. Through the entire meal. Her father nodded approvingly. Her brother, a college sophomore with too much confidence, leaned back in his chair and smirked at me. So you're the guy who finally got my sister to settle down. I wouldn't say settle. I said carefully. Elena kicked him under the table. I felt her leg brush against mine and stay there. Her hand found mine again during dessert, this time under the table, hidden. Her thumb traced small circles on my palm. I didn't pull away after dinner. Her mother insisted on showing me photos, baby pictures, school plays, family vacations. Elena sat beside me on the couch, her body angled toward mine, playing the part perfectly. But there was something else. The way she looked at me when her mother wasn't watching. The way her breath caught when my arm brushed hers. This wasn't just an act, or maybe it was, and I couldn't tell the difference anymore. We left just after 9. Her mother hugged me goodbye. Take care of her, she whispered. I will. Elena was quiet as we walked to the car. I waited until we were on the highway before I said anything. So, she didn't look at me. I'm sorry. For what? Ambushing me with a fake relationship? Her hands tightened on the wheel. It wasn't supposed to be like that. I was going to tell you in the car. But then we got there, and my MOM opened the door, and I just panicked. Why? She was quiet for a long time. Then, because she's been asking about my love life for months. Every call, every visit. Are you seeing anyone? Are you happy? Are you lonely? And I kept saying I was fine, but she didn't believe me. So you made me your fake boyfriend to get her off your back. Yes, I should have been angry. But I wasn't. You could have just told me the plan. I know. I'm sorry. I thought if I told you, you'd say no. I wouldn't have. She glanced at me then, her eyes searching mine. Really? Really, she looked back at the road. Thank you for going along with it. I didn't say anything because I didn't know what to say. The truth was, I hadn't hated it. Holding her hand, sitting beside her, pretending we were something more. It had felt right, and that terrified me. We didn't talk about it for the next few days. Life went back to normal, or tried to, but something had changed. The way we moved around each other. The silences that used to feel comfortable now felt charged. I'd catch her looking at me sometimes, and she'd look away quickly, like she'd been caught. I did the same. It was the following Friday when everything came to a head. We were both home. Rare for a Friday night. She was in the kitchen, making tea. I was on the couch, pretending to read. Can we talk? She said. I looked up. She was standing in the doorway, mark in hand, expression unreadable. Sure, she sat down beside me, not on the other end of the couch, beside me, close enough that I could smell her shampoo. I need to say something. She started, and I need you to let me finish before you respond. I nodded. She took a breath. When I asked you to come to dinner, I told myself it was just to get my MOM off my back, and that was part of it. But it wasn't the whole truth. She looked down at her mug. The truth is, I've been feeling something for a while now, and I didn't know what to do with it. Because you're my roommate, and I didn't want to make things weird. And I thought maybe if I ignored it, it would go away. My heart was pounding, but it didn't go away. She continued. And when I held your hand at dinner, and when you played along, and when you looked at me like you were really mine, I realized I didn't want it to be fake. She finally looked at me. I don't want it to be fake. The room was so quiet I could hear my own heartbeat. Say something, she whispered. I reached out, slowly, carefully, and took her hand the same way she'd done at dinner. It didn't feel fake to me either. Her breath hitched. It didn't. No, so what does that mean? I smiled. I think it means we should probably stop pretending we're just roommates. She laughed. It was soft and surprised and beautiful. Yeah, I think so too. We didn't kiss that night. We just sat there, hands intertwined, talking until the early hours of the morning about everything we'd been too scared to say, about how strange it was to fall for someone you saw every day, about how terrifying it felt to risk ruining something good, about how maybe it was worth the risk. Things changed after that, slowly, carefully. We didn't rush. We let it build the way it had been building all along, naturally, quietly. The first time she kissed me was 2 weeks later. We were cooking dinner together. She turned to ask me something, and I was closer than she expected. For a moment, we just looked at each other, and then she leaned in. It was soft, tentative, perfect. When she pulled back, she was smiling. I've wanted to do that for a while. Yeah. I kissed her again, this time less tentative, this time like I meant it. Her mother called the next Sunday. Elena answered on speaker. So, her mother said, voice bright, how are things with your boyfriend? Elena looked at me. I was sitting across from her at the kitchen table. She smiled. Really good, MOM. Really good. And this time, she wasn't lying. I think about that dinner sometimes. The way she introduced me. The way her hand found mine. The way a lie became the truth. We still live in the same apartment. But now, it's not just shared space. It's ours. Her coffee mug next to mine. Her playlist bleeding into my mornings. Her laughter filling the rooms. And every time I hold her hand, I remember that first time at her parents' table. When she called me her boyfriend, and I realized I wanted it to be real. I still do. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.